Hello all, and guys, welcome back to another average shaman video. It's going to be a little bit of a mid to lengthy one, this video, mainly because we are looking at the best covenant for elemental shaman in 9.2. I've done I've done an enhanced version, and people seem to like it. And because I want to do all things chamois, I thought might as well give the elemental a good crack and do a bit of testing. Well, I have done some testing, and give my opinions. Hopefully, feed the theories, get some comments going. But yeah, right. So we're just gonna crack on. My guy is on the way to Venth. I'll get to that soon. But for now, I want to talk about the Night Fear Covenant. Now, as I've already in my 9.2 prep video and other videos, I have especially if you are a shaman in this time, to level all your covenants, guys. Just honestly level them all, especially if you're a shaman. Please level all your covenants to 80 before 9.2, because all the covenants are useful. There's not one covenant that shines more than others. Well, Venth shines a little bit more for elemental and a little bit more for enhanced, but I'll get to that. But yeah, just level your covenants. Right, cracking on. Night Fear. It's a decent pick. It is a very decent pick. It'll probably be a middle version of elemental AoE and single target, because it's got some nice soul binds with Naya for the mastery, with Kyrian. I want to say his name's Kyrian. I don't think around about the second soul bind. I'm sure his name's Kyrian. Kyrian, whatever. He gives the crit, which is nice. Uh, you know, so there's that. There's a lot of options as well with other builds, and there is a lot of options with Night Fear. It's a solid pick. Naya really stands out for the single target. Maybe a bit of AoE as well, but then Kyrian stands out for the AoE mainly because of that crit that you're getting. That's going to be very, very, very nice. Apart from that, I mean, the legendaries with Night Fear, from what I'm gathering, are going to be pretty much the same. You're going to be, maybe running, what's it called? Gauntlet said the Great Sundering. Well, yeah, for that, because the crit's going to help out with your earthquake damage, and you're going to be running Windwalkers for single target. I don't think you're going to be running Sky Fury's Break Fiery Demise, because Skybreaker's Fiery Demise has better synergy with other covenants. So, I mean, you can if you want to, purposely spam your Flame Shock off cooldown, then that's up to you. You do you, my guys. You do you. But I think that legendary has got better synergy with other covenants. So that's why I think they're going to mainly stick to these two legendaries, Windbreaker's Lava Resurgence and the Great Sundering, because I just think, and I've tested it, it's decent, it's good damage, especially if you've got your second legendary, guys. It is time gated to the 5th week. It's rather nice. Just for the guys that are wondering what it is, I will find. And just, it seeds a rampant growth. So each pulse of the first transfusion damage effects reduces the cooldown of Fire Elemental by 6 seconds and increases your critical strike chance by 4% for 5 seconds. It's really nice. It is really nice, and there is some synergy there, because that Fire Elemental just comes straight off cooldown, and that crit just really stacks up. So it does have some synergy, especially if you're using the conduit to reduce it, which everyone is by this time. It's really nice. It is nice, but I think it's mainly going to be a middle ground. So if you don't want to too focus in single target, you don't want to too focus in AoE, it's a nice middle niche, I think. Yeah, I think it's a really nice middle ground. I mean, I could be wrong. People, might really love the Night Fear, and if that's true, then drop a holler, comment. We'll have a discussion about it. But I personally favour other covenants. So now we're going to go on to a bit of the Venth, and I'm a bit excited, and I'm mainly excited to show you this build as well, because I'm going to pretty much do a little bit of a PTR testing for you. I mean, I've already tested, but I kind of want to show you how nutty this is. Right, so this build I am running with, which will be my main AoE. Venth is going to excel in AoE. It is going to, like, Elemental Shamans have always had really nice AoE with the Stormkeepers, the Lightning, the Earthquakes and that. It's always been really good AoE, but basically, if you wasn't AoE, you were playing your single target build, and there were only 2 builds. It was like enhancement. There was only ever 2 builds. Now we've got more builds. Well, there wasn't 2 builds. I mean, you did have a Firebreaker's Scary Demise build, the build I'm running now, but it was very niche. I very rarely saw any Elemental Shamans running that. Like, maybe you had to be pro to run that, but I don't know. I found it a bit boring and compared to the Earthquake build. Anyway, so I'm going to go Echoes of the Elements, Aftershock, because just to chain out them things. I mean, you could run Elemental Blast if you wanted to get that, you know, the extra stats that you do from that, and it generates a fair whack of Maelstrom. But I like the Aftershock. I've got that used to it that I feel naked without it personally. So I mean, you guys can run any one of these. Any one of these are pretty nice. I've run Master of the Elements because the amount of times you get Lava Burst is gonna help. But in really good AoE, I can see Storm Elemental really popping off. Like, you know, I've even got a macro for it there because I usually run this bad boy, so I've got a specific macro there. But because I just feel like it's better there. But probably once you guys get used to it, and even once I get used to it, I will transition into the Storm Elemental. And then I've got Primal Elementalist because you need it in this build. That's where your damage comes from mainly. And Stormkeeper because Stormkeeper. I have got my 2-set bonus, and I have run my 2-set bonus for all the Covenants. So I am keeping the 2-set bonus in mind as well, which I will just go over as well. Is while your Fire Elemental is active, your Lava Burst deals 20% additional damage, and you gain Lava Surge every 8 seconds. That's why I've run the Master of the Elements, because of that 2-set. Now the 4-set is casting Lava Burst extends the duration of your Fire Elemental. This will also go with your Storm Elemental guys by 1.5 seconds, and your Fire Elemental, if your Fire Elemental is not active, Lava Burst has a 20% chance to reduce its remaining cooldown by 10 seconds. That's lovely. I mean, the main bit is like the 2-set, like that. I think the 2-set really stands out for Elemental. The 4-set's nice because it extends it, but that 2-set, Lava Burst, Lava Surge every 8 seconds, he's just lovely. But anyway, right, so I'm just going to do a bit of a rotation here. I'm not going to go overboard. If I can click it, I'm not going to go overboard or out like that and do a 5-minute just to prove the point how good this is. But I'm just gonna do it like I'm prepping. So I'm going to spread that, do that. I'm going to use that. I mean, I should have used Earthquake there, but I'm that used to it. And then I'm going to use this. You're probably thinking, oh God, why? And look at that damage. Like, you know, it's just going to constantly... And then we can use this straight into thing. Got another Lava Burst there. And it's so nice. It's so nice. And this is off cooldown again. This is off cooldown again. It's insane. I mean, that's spreading the fire shock as well, guys. The flame shock. The legendary's doing its thing because it's ticking off. You know, for me, it just feels so nice using them procs, and it's off cooldown again. This is off cooldown. My lava, my elemental's off cooldown again, but because he's already out, I'm just constantly extending its time. Do you know, he's just constantly out. So when he finally goes, I'll draw it as a close. He's finally gone. This has gone off cooldown twice. Pardon me. I did get that out to do a stopwatch, but I got the point. I just did it till I got that back. You could see that it came off cooldown before the first one went away. Like, I was quite low on the Lava Burst procs. I've had it where I've done insane Lava Burst procs, and I've had it for about... I've kept it up personally for about I think it was, I mean, this was a bog standard, so I didn't use a legendary on this, and I kept my fire elemental up for about 2.3, and it was just insane. But I'll just see, I mean, because it did proc off a lot of the chain harvest, but the chain harvest damage is way up there. The earthquake damage is still there, but that's because I was just using it, and you will continue to use that in AoE. But the flame shock and the chain harvest in proper AoEs, their damage is just gonna be way up. Same with this. Yeah, you know, your fire blast elemental, that damage is going to be way up. If I did like a 5-minute video, I'm guessing fire blast would be about 5th, chain harvest would be 1 or 2, and flame shock would probably be there. Earthquake could be there as well. So these are probably fairly accurate. Maybe chain harvest would take the 2nd spot, but your fire primal would be right up there. I usually do have a macro, but because I've got a specially macro that again, I didn't really see the point, because usually you can only cast it once per elemental, but because you'll have that many elementals, this will be a lot more damage, especially with the more people that are there. It's just gonna be so nice damage. I do think Venth is going to be the go-to build now for both. I mean, I hate to say it, but even for enhancement, it's looking very thin. Kyrian does keep up with Venth though, guys. It really, really does, and I'm going to probably stay Kyrian, but cheeky, as soon as the week ticks on and we get that 2nd legendary and I've got my 4 set, you know, I'm probably going to go here. And it's same with the element, same with the elemental. Once you've got that maybe 2-4 set, even bog standard, but as soon as you get that 2nd legendary, Venth, because it's just a chain harvest. It reduces its cooldown. It's good sustained damage. It spreads that flame shock, and it just makes Skybreaker's Fury Demise that much more easier and that much more just accessible. And I think it's going to be competitive. I really do, to the previous legendaries of the Great Sundering. I'm looking forward to it actually, because I don't know if Great Sundering will beat Fiery Demise with this build or what. So I mean, I mean my edges are on the Fiery Demise build beating the Great Sundering, but I don't know, you know, especially with the with getting more crit with the new gear and so on. I am very, very excited for it. But anyway, Venth is definitely a star next to it to level. Please, please, please level it. The next one is Necrolord that I'm going to briefly talk about. Now, Necrolord is beautiful. I love Necrolord. When I'm on my elemental, for single target for raids, I will go Necrolord. I will go Bonesmith Hamir for that 18% crit to use them kind of like bursty windows like every minute. It's very, very nice, especially with the Primordial Wave as well. Now, especially, again, people, once you get the 5th week and you get access to that 2nd Lego, pardon me, each additional lava burst generated by Primordial Wave, increases your haste by 10 seconds. By 10% for 10 seconds, sorry. Just going to let that sit in. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Especially if you play the Conduit that has a 30% roughly, I think, off the top of my head, chance to proc again. Oh my god. And it stacks. It stacks. If it procs twice, that's 20% extra haste, people. That's a mini Bloodlust. And if it procs again, which on some of my PTR testing, it's procced 4 times. I mean, that's very lucky, but still, so much haste. It is for 10 seconds, but it's just so much haste. It just allows you to funnel it. And, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, what I did is I didn't use them back to back. I used one, I used the Lava Burst. I did my rotation, I did another Lava Burst after using a Primordial Wave, just to keep that 10% haste on me most of the time. In a minute, I think I kept it on like half for the 30%. Especially if I got 3 procs, I managed to do it. That's good maths to me. That's the way I would use it. I mean, some people out there are probably like, no, just chain them off, and then just burst. But then I kind of spread it out as much as I possibly felt comfortable doing. It will take some me getting used to it. It will take me doing some tweaking, but that's how I did it. I do think it's gonna stomp in single target, especially guys, especially with your 4-set. You know, it's just gonna be beautiful. You know, that lava burst dealing an additional 20% whilst your fire elemental's off, and the cooldown for it. But especially if you get, you know, primordial wave, then a surge, and then you can do it, and it's just it's got I really like the feel of it. But I will say this: Windbreaker's Lava Resurgence, whilst going Necrolord and single target, is better as well. Because I did it, like, you'll cast Earthshock, you know, and gain Lava Surge, and increase the damage of your Lava Burst by 20%. If your Fire Elemental's already open, your Lava Burst is already dealing an extra 20%. So you've got to double that damage, people. Why wouldn't you? Especially, you know, when it's on there, which it usually will be. You know, because you've got so many Lava Bursts going off, especially with that 4-set and Lava Resurgence, guys. It is very nice. It feels very good. I highly recommend you guys to, I mean, everyone's got it, but if you haven't got that legendary and, you know, you're a filthy Mythic player who's not really into single target, it's going to be fun. Even in Mythic Plus, it is going to be fun, and it still has some synergy, especially with Necrolord. It has a lot of synergy in AoE, especially if you can get a couple of them primordial waves off and a couple of flame shocks off from yourself. Granted, it's not as good as the Venth for spreading the flame shock passively, but it's very nice, and it does feel good. I quite like Necrolord, even in AoE. I have used it in Mythic Plus. I usually do, in fact. I'm a dirty Necrolord when it comes to Elemental Shamans. And then after that, guys, the last one is Kyrian. Now, Kyrian, I've done some testing, and it is a bit... It's very much okay. It's very much okay. Even with the Vesper Totem, the second legendary of the Covenant legendary, it's very much okay. I might not be used, because I use it heavily on my enhancement. But when it comes to Elemental, I think it's the weakest one. It's the weakest option in the Covenants. I would still say level it, because you never know. Like, we're still in PTR, they might give Elemental a massive buff, or they might buff Kyrian like a lot to keep up with Venth and Necrolord and so on. So we don't know. I'd still say level it, but in terms of builds, it's mainly AoE. You will probably be using the Great Sundering in Kyrian. So if you want to remain playing the Great Sundering, then I'd suggest you carry on. You go to Kyrian. But yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't really want to be saying that it's rubbish, but like when I used it compared to the other Legend Covenants like Nightfare, Venth, and Necrolord, Kyrian it didn't feel as good. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, it just didn't feel as good. But I mean, apart from that's the video, guys. I hope you found it interesting in regards to my personal note on what Covenant to play as and build to play as in Legend for Elemental in 9.2, Venth all the way. Especially once you've got that second legendary, guys, and you've got your 2-set bonus. Even if you don't have your 2-set, 4-set bonus, as soon as that 5th week comes in, I am going to be running towards to getting it, because I know on my Elemental Shaman, I'm Venth, and I will be doing really good damage, and I will be upgrade. I've got that, but it's only 235, but I'm going to be running Choregast to make sure I upgrade it to 262, ready for 9.2. That's my plan with Elemental Shaman. And in single target, Necrolord all the way. Nightfare, as I said, is very, very good. The second legendary is good. It synergizes well. But I just, do you know when you get like, there's about like a little bit of excitement when you're talking about Cobs? I mean, especially for me and Shamans, I get excited for Elemental with regards to Venth and Necrolord. And with Enhancement, I get excited for Kyrian and Venth. With Nightfare is a very, very solid option. Some of the best players in Nightfare. But for me, I just get the feels. I get the feels, people, for them Covenants. So, that's my personal tidbit. I hope I didn't bore you enough, because I didn't do that much in the background. That's purely because I quite, in these videos, I quite like to talk. I did some stuff. But yeah, I mean, I am looking into some editing stuff. I'm still looking into it. I'm not as techy as I like to believe. Apparently, the technology age has got a bit past me of late, so I'm going to do a bit of reading and YouTube tutorials. Funny enough, on how to use certain editing tools and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully in the next coming months, I start bringing it out and make my videos a little bit more interesting and flashy. Woo! But yeah, no, that's it. That's it. I hope you liked the video. A cheeky like and subscribe really helps me out. But if not, and you just came in to watch it and then go away, that's fine. I hope you enjoyed the video. My other social media platforms are in the description below, like my Twitch, my Discord and that. It'd be really nice to get my Discord up and running. I am struggling getting it up and running, so if you guys can join, that'd be brilliant. Same with my Twitch. I stream at least twice a week. I do struggle to stream because I'm a single father. No, not single father. I've got a partner. I'm a stay-at-home dad, sorry, so my days are a bit like, ah! But yeah, anyway, I am waffling now, and you're probably thinking like, dude, just leave. So I will do that. Thank you for watching, as always. Hope you like the video, hope you like the content, and Average Shaman out. Thank you.